the common ground kind of worked towards each other. He was so obnoxious that he filled exactly what I thought, he might be. And I was married to a minister from the Deep South who did not believe in frivolity and all that. So we came loaded with prejudice on both of our parts. And then as they sort of got knocked over, not true, and you had, if you're an honest person, you had to admit it, that they were not quite what you had expected, and it got better and better.
And Michael isn't the greatest, he's not the nicest guy. I mean, at first not the nicest guy. How did she broke his shell though, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's been hurt. He's been hurt, and he's mad at life, and he's lonely, and he's given up on his love life and all that stuff. So yeah, having his own preconceived notions of how he's going to be perceived, and then coming into it exactly like Gena said, loaded with his own prejudices, slowly seeing her for who she really is, and vice versa. Once he feels that respect, then the walls come down, and then they fulfill for each other, son, mother, friend, confidant, life partner, all of those things. That was the fun to kind of get, once that, precipice, or what's the artifice? Once the artifice, precipice.
What's a precipice?
Once the artifice comes down, then that's where the magic happens, because these two people from seemingly totally different worlds can learn about themselves and life from each other.
And let's talk a little bit about working together, and you were so excited when you had to work with Ms. Gena Rowlands. Tell me a little bit about how you guys interact on the set, and any advice that you guys maybe, taught each other?
Well, there was a part where we still didn't trust each other. He had been obnoxious, and I'd gone over and reported him to the place that had sent him, the dancing place, and I fired him. And you could see just on his face the sudden realization that he was out of a job and had nothing, no money to eat, nothing. And then you could see him go into a very fast story about how he was sorry that it happened, but he did have to have this part because his wife was in the hospital and very ill. He didn't have a wife. And then he told me, I said, what is her profession? He said, she's a veterinarian. And I said, what hospital is she a veterinarian in? And tell him your answer.
At the Seminole Cat, Dog, Bird, and Snake Hospital. It doesn't sound fake at all.
No. I began to suspect I was being had a bit, but it's really hard to turn down someone who says his wife is really terribly ill and he has no job. And so I decided to risk it because I was a person who did risk certain things. And I lied to him about my husband being with me up where we were living now and down where we were living in Miami. And I didn't have a husband anymore because he died too. So I think that was the scene where we really started coming up with stuff. Mm-hmm. That we didn't quite trust each other. On the other hand, in a way, we needed each other. Need is a nice word.
Yeah.